Here's the agenda. We're going to talk about club visioning. We're going to talk about membership. We're going to do a breakout session, and then we're going to close. So we hope to have you out of here by 7:30, just like we promised, and get everybody ready for the big event on Saturday, which is our multi-district pets, Mid-America Pets, 8 till noon on Saturday morning. Look at all these chat things. You guys are excellent. Look at that. Hello, everyone. James, do you have anything to say before we turn it over to Nancy and get going?
No, I just wanted to ask, have any of you gotten a package in the mail yet?
I did.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
With your material for Saturday?
Oh, I'm
Yes.
glad you're being specific, because I got a statement from my county collector, and that was not a joyous thing. So
I ate my pretzels before.
You already did?
I did, yes. I couldn't help myself. I love those things.
then it's up to you to replace them for Saturday morning.
That's right. Well, I hope you got your shirt and the notebook that we were giving you guys, and then a couple of things that we put in that package. I have some other stuff to give you at some point in time, but I'm waiting on that, and I'll send that out separate. Part of it was because it was backlogged through the vendor. So anyway, that's coming up. So anyway, I'm just glad to see that some of you are getting it. If you haven't yet, you should be getting a package in the next day or two, hopefully before Saturday. That would be awesome.
Do I get a T-shirt and pretzels?
Yeah.
I didn't get one.
All right. I was focused on President-elect.
I know.
I don't know. Your turn might come back around.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
It's
right.
good to see all of you tonight, and this is the last one of that, but the training doesn't end from this point forward, and you still have a lifeline of folks that can help you. So don't think you're done and you're just going to be put in a vacuum and forgotten about. So that's what I would encourage you about.
I thought I was done. What do you? Okay.
Nice try.
All right, here we go. Our program this evening focuses on things that we need to be aware of and that are very, very vital to our existence as clubs. First is visioning, and then after that, we go right into membership. And we are fortunate in that we can have one presenter to talk about both things because she's just that darn good. We have past District Governor Nancy Leonhardt to talk to you about all of those things. And I'm going to turn it over to her, and I'm going to drive her slides and read from her script and hope I don't screw it up. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Brian. And yeah, I'm a little nervous about you driving this bus. Maybe I should have done my own slides, but well, I'm sure you'll do fine. So hello, 2021, 2022 presidents. Boy, that is a mouthful. So glad to be with you all here this evening. I do want to start by saying you're a very lucky group to be serving Rotary under District Governor James Arbuckle. I've known James since the day I started Rotary 14 years ago, and I can honestly say my life in Rotary changed because of James, who became president 2 months after I joined our club. As club president, he gave me an opportunity to serve in the club, which led to leadership opportunities in our club, in the district, in the zone, and for Rotary International. So as your next club's president, you too have the power to change your members' lives, much as James has done for me. So a few years ago, Zones 3031, the Heart of America, created the Club Visioning Initiative. Our district participated in the training, and we were able to complete the process with 2 clubs, the Jonesboro University and the Little Rock After Hours clubs. Past District Governor George Frey wanted to continue with visioning, however, nothing happened. Part of that was due to COVID, but a large reason was due to the fact that the process involved a 4-hour session, and frankly, many clubs did not want to commit that kind of time. When District Governor Mike Benage asked me to continue with visioning, I said I would, if he would allow me to make changes to the program, and he would promote the need for visioning and give it a high priority in the district. I'm happy to report that the new process seems to be working, and we had 5 clubs participate in the process this year. So I want to give you an overview of the new process. First, I do want to let you know that Charles Harris will be taking over as the district visioning chair July 1. Charles's club, Little Rock Metro, was the first club to go through the new visioning process, and he embraced the role as club visioning chair immediately. He recently participated in training for the zone's new visioning process, and he may incorporate some of what he learned into our process. Regardless of what he does, I know he will do an excellent job for our district. Don't think I really need to say anything here, but good planning does make sense. A visioning plan provides continuity for clubs from year to year, giving leadership and members a coordinated plan and a vision for the club. It is a living document that provides long-term direction to establish goals and objectives for the club and optimizes use of resources. You view it as a roadmap in a way, telling you where you're going, and as a tool for assessing your progress. The process begins with a survey prepared and sent out by the district visioning team to all club members, asking them to put themselves 3 years into the future and to share what they would like to see what the club had accomplished in the prior 3 years. So if we were doing a visioning right now, you would look at the year 2024, be looking back at what was accomplished from 2021 to 2024. The results from that survey are then compiled by the team and emailed to club members to view in advance of the visioning club meeting. We then hold a regular club meeting, and that's where the club votes on the ideas that was sent to them. The results, which are the club's accomplishments being recognized or celebrated in the year 2024, are shared after voting takes place. Prior to the club visioning meeting, the president line will choose a club champion. Their role is to ensure that the planning document is always in the forefront of the club leadership when they're making plans and decisions. And it's not just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, like many of us in business know strategic plans often do. And that's all. That's it. The club takes it from there, incorporating the visioning plan into their goals and objectives for the next 3 years. So show of hands, how many of you would be interested in doing a visioning session during your Rotary year as president? Good, good. So some of you have already done it, and that will count. Will, Will's kind of hand was like, well, do I have to? Well,
I was thinking that was going to lead into, all right, are you committed to 4 hours?
Yeah, no. So this process is not 4 hours long. It's just a 1 hour meeting and some homework, pre-homework. So those of you who are interested in doing this, here is Charles's contact information. Get in touch with him during your year, and I'm sure he'll be reaching out to you as well, and set one up. It really is an easy process. And Jonesboro did it, my club did it, the After Hours Club did it, Metro did it, Little Rock Metro, and who am I forgetting? Oh, Cleveland County. They all.
Sherwood.
Oh, and Sherwood. Oh gosh, I had 6 clubs. So thank you for that. And they all just can attest to how easy of a process it was. And so contact any of them if you'd like to find out how easy or difficult the process was. So with that, any questions? Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Well, I was going to say, we should mention that if your club has a different resource that you plan to use, like Club 99 did, they
Yes.
did their strategic plan, and that counts too. So
Yes.
you're going through the process, you're doing it for the future of your club, so kudos.
So with that, are there any questions about the visioning process?
I would just add, it was a really easy survey. If that's the one we did not long ago, it really wasn't too bad.
The key to it is emphasizing that you need to look into the future or look back, be in the future, look back at what your club accomplished. And we really stress to think outside of the box.
Yes.
If your club, we don't necessarily want to know what your club has done every single year. If your vision is for your club to do something different, then that's something that we want you to share, because there might be other members who say, you know, that's a great idea. I'm putting my vote there. So it's really an opportunity to think outside of the box, look into the future, and look at what you would like your club to look like that may not be happening right now. And it might bring out some great new ideas regarding, we look at fundraising, we look at membership, we look at the Rotary Foundation, international service, community service. So we look at the number of areas of Rotary and encourage you to think outside of the box and what you would like your vision of the club to look like. And then we take, everybody votes, and the top 3 in each area, and that might change, but right now the top 3 are what your plan looks like.
And Nancy, I might add, it was a very easy process, and we have our visioning person to keep up with it in our club, which is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
So
yes.
Thank you very much.
I also have a comment. One thing that I thought was great was that you sent the questions ahead of time to club members so that they would have time to really look at those and really, come up with some, ideas, for those questions. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, gave you time to think about it. Whereas in the original format, the 4-hour meeting, right then and there, you had to think about it and come up with your ideas. And sometimes that's difficult when we were given, I believe, 30 minutes or something to fill that out. And that's not necessarily for some people. They can't think that fast. So, all right, if there aren't any questions, I'll now put on my hat as the Zone 31 Assistant Rotary Coordinator. In my role, I support 4 district membership chairs in Zone 31, including our district. Today, I'll give you an overview of what's going on in District 6150 as you prepare for the new Rotary year. First, I want to introduce you to the 2021-2022 membership team. So Matt Bowie, who is the current president of Little Rock After Hours, will serve as the team chair. Kenny Gibbs, who's past president of Club 99, is the current district membership chair. He is stepping down from that role. However, he will continue to serve the team overseeing membership leads, which I'll discuss later. And then Charles Harris, who you introduced earlier with the Little Rock Metro Club, he'll serve the team to help all of us add diversity to our clubs. Each one of these Rotarians provides enthusiasm and a desire to serve on the team. And I want to also add that I'm excited that we actually have a team. That's difficult to do. And it's a great testament to these men that they want to be a part of a team to help grow Rotary. So as you probably have heard at your first meeting, RI President-elect Shaker's goal for membership is to increase our numbers. We've been hearing for many years now that Rotary has 1.2 million members. He wants to move the needle and increase to a new number of 1.3 million. He believes we can do this through his Each One Bring One campaign. I encourage each of you to set an example for your club members and bring someone into Rotary early on in your Rotary year. So where does District 6150 stand in regards to membership numbers? In the last 18 months, since July 1st, 2019, we have lost 65 members. We ended last year down 33 members, and so far, 6 months into this year, we are already down 32 members. Unless we do something now, that number will continue to grow, and we, meaning our zone and North America, are in jeopardy of losing a director on the Rotary International Board of Directors. As you can see on this, the okay news is that we are performing better than any of our other districts in Zone 31. However, we want good news that says we increased our membership. So one way to increase those numbers is through the Rotary Membership Leads program. Inquiries are made to Rotary International through their website and are vetted by a team there. They are then forwarded to districts. I call this the low-hanging fruit. These potential members have already expressed interest in joining Rotary, and as far as we can see, clubs are not taking advantage of this opportunity. Kenny has worked hard this year to make sure clubs are getting potential members assigned to them. The next step is up to the club. As you can see, of the 20 leads our district has received this year, 18 of those have been assigned to clubs. And of those 18, 50%, 9 of them have not been followed up on. Now, I will put a disclaimer in here that they may have been followed up on, but the clubs are not putting the information into the leads report. And as far as Rotary International is concerned, we're not doing our job. So, and Kenny cannot put that information into the leads report. Only the clubs can, that the members have been assigned to. So to help this process, I've suggested that when Kenny sends a lead to a club, he also copies the AG so the AGs can then support their clubs to make sure they're following up on the lead and putting that information into the RI database. Our goal is to not see any red on that pie chart. And it's not a difficult process to do. It's just only the club can put that information in, not the district. So with a show of hands, how many of you know about the district membership campaign currently going on? So this runs through April 30th, and it's a great opportunity for clubs to win some funds for their service projects. What is important to note regarding the 2021-2022 Rotary year is clubs with new members who joined from February 1st through June 30 of this Rotary year will not be charged for dues by the district come the July invoice from the district. That is a savings of $42 per member to the club. That savings can be passed on to the new member or can be used by the club for service projects. We have 1 more month in the campaign and 3 more months to take advantage of the district dues reduction. This is a great gift that we're giving clubs, that the district is giving clubs next year. That's money out of James's budget that is the clubs are going to be able to keep. So encourage your clubs now to bring new members in, because for every new member between now and June 30, that's a savings of $42 for your club. So another role of the membership team is to help clubs enhance member engagement. We want to ensure clubs are delivering value to their members, both personally and professionally. Work in tandem with your membership chair to find ways to keep members engaged. Some members may want to continue attending meetings virtually until later in the year or beyond. Help them to feel connected to the club when your club starts coming back together. Survey your members. Ask them what they want from the club and how the club can help them grow. And encourage them to explore the Learning Center. And I encourage you as well. There are some great online courses for club leadership and members. And hot off the press, you can now access the courses on your mobile device. I just got an email 2 days ago, I think it was, with instructions on a how-to guide on how to do that. And I'd be more than happy to share that with anyone. As you can see on this slide, to the right is a portion of a document listing all of Rotary's membership resources, and there are a ton of them. I think this is a 4-page document. I will make sure Brian has it, and it'll be included in your materials. And I encourage you to share it with your membership chair, especially, but also as you look through it, you'll find other members of your club leadership team that should have some of that information as well. So another hat that I wear is as a Zone 31 Innovation Advocate. 19 Rotarians in North America were invited to Rotary International headquarters last January to be a part of a new initiative called Innovative Club Advocates. I was fortunate to get to be a part of that group, and I support 8 districts in our zone, including ours. In our district, I work with Adam Sarton, who's one of the RAGs with the Jonesboro University Club, and he is serving as our district innovative club advocate. And both of us are working across the district to grow Rotary. And I thank you, Adam, for being a part of that. Our primary role is to encourage and support the development of new and innovative clubs to provide opportunities for new Rotarians who are not able or do not wish to participate in the traditional club models most of our clubs are based on. Ideas could be satellite clubs, cause-based clubs, lifestyle clubs, passport clubs. Really, the sky's the limit. A new club model in your community may also provide an opportunity for former Rotarians to re-engage. When we were in the planning stages of the Little Rock After Hours Club, I sent emails out to all terminated members in the Central Arkansas area to invite them to the informational meetings. 8 or 9 of those former Rotarians joined the new club model. One of the barriers to joining Rotary is cost. A new club structure may allow an opportunity for reduced dues. The minimum amount needed by a club for a member is $128, which covers both Rotary International and district dues. Other barriers include meeting times and days. Again, with the development of the After Hours Club in Little Rock, we showed that a non-traditional club was needed and wanted in our community. We're also working on developing an after-hour clubs in Jonesboro, and maybe your community can sustain an after-hours club as well. Another barrier is meeting frequency. If your club meets weekly, a satellite club may decide to meet only once or twice a month. The After Hours Club formally meets once a month and then gets together again during the month for a service project. So if you've been trying to get someone involved in Rotary and they cannot make the day or time that your club meets, or another club in your community, if your community is large enough, here is an opportunity for your club to create a satellite club or a new club that could accommodate them and others in your community who fall into that same category. And I assure you that there are others out there. Rotary has opened the door to allow districts and clubs to look at different opportunities to engage people in Rotary, and we need to take advantage of that. Thank you for the opportunity to share visioning and membership with you. As always, I will work with our district teams to help out in any way I can to ensure the success of District 6150. So at this time, I want to ask if you have any questions about membership, or if you've thought of something in regards to visioning.
Nancy, Sean Johnson here.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah.
Something that I fundamentally don't understand, I think, is how there are savings to the club in the form of, the reduced membership dues. And maybe it's because I don't understand exactly how the club benefits from the dues on the front end, regardless of the discount. I don't know if you might be able to explain a little bit more about what you meant by that.
Oh, the $127?
Yes.
So most clubs, like I'll put our club out there. Our dues, annual dues, are $287. 127 of that goes to Rotary International and the district.
Okay.
So that every club in our district has to charge at least $127 a year for membership for anybody to join, unless they can supplement the money somehow. But that's the amount. And then so the additional funds that our club charges are used for other things, service projects, to pay for DAC-DB, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the absolute minimum is 127. Now, if a new club started up and they charged only 127, they obviously will not be able to have the full benefits of DAC-DB and so forth. However, they will be in DAC-DB because the district pays for it. But that's what the difference is. That's the minimum, because each club has to pay dues to the district, and those are for James's year $42 a person, and then the remaining amount is what we pay through two different payments, one in July and the other in January, to Rotary International for dues.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would say one of the things we've been doing over, I think it was the last 5 years or 4 years, we've increased it $1 a year.
Yes.
And then this year is actually the last year of that increase.
And Brian, to go back to a comment that you just made earlier in regards to club recognition, I encourage clubs to use Rotary International's numbers for club recognition, not DAC-DB.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Nancy. Adam, do you have anything that you wanted to mention about the innovative club ideas? Live from Branson, Missouri.
No, I would just say that, depending on, I would do the club visioning if your club hasn't. Your job, I think, this year is to focus on your directive is your club. And Rotary as a whole is about gaining members. And I think if you're passionate about Rotary at the end of this, at the end of the year, then let's talk next year. Or if you see that you have, a handful of members who are not engaged and they can't make your meeting time, or they have things out, they have the service above self-heart, but there's particulars within your club, then, hey, connect me with them, and we'll be happy to visit. And we want to save them as Rotarians, and try to find a good fit with them. And if that looks to be a spinoff, but I would challenge you, we're here for President-elect's training. And so your membership is counting on you to lead your club. We're coming out of a pretty tough year. 2020, 21 has been challenging. Some clubs, I think there are still 2 in the district that aren't meeting. Our club has not met in 3 months. I think we're starting back next week. So I'd be happy to visit with you if you've got some ideas or y'all are interested in After Hours Club. I'm happy to help any way that I can. Nancy, I apologize, probably not what me to say.
So do you all understand the concept of a satellite club, in that if you have a satellite club as a spinoff from your club, the membership from the satellite club counts for your membership. And the advantage of is just like what Adam said, if you find, especially with all what we've been going through this last year, it probably has caused a number of members to reevaluate some things. And if you have members that might have left saying, I just can't do noon meetings anymore. It worked when we were able to do online and I didn't have to travel anywhere. But now that the club is meeting again and I just can't find that time anymore, that might be an opportunity to spin off a satellite club from your club to continue to engage those members who would still be a member of your club, but they might need a different time, a different day, or maybe once a month or something. So don't look at it as a negative, like, well, if we start a satellite club, everybody might leave our club and go to this new club. You all would be members of your club. It's just you're providing an opportunity for others who just can't meet at the same day, same time as your club, or they're not interested in meeting every week. They want something a little different, maybe a little looser, maybe that meets in the evening at the local brew pub or something. The sky's the limit, as I mentioned earlier. But I would look at that as an opportunity for your club to grow, as opposed to a negative in that your club might decline.
Nancy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So if you have a satellite club, then is that a whole different set of officers also for that satellite club versus the main club?
So the main club is still the overarching management of the satellite club. The satellite club wouldn't have a president. They might have a, what are some of them calling them? A chair. Yeah.
Okay.
And that chair would sit on, would be involved on your board, so that there's that relationship between the two.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question.
Like Adam was talking about, and being innovative and trying different things. My understanding of the satellite clubs is it could be convenience based, of the timing of the meetings and what works for a different group of people, but it also can be interest based. And I think Michelle in Sherwood is trying to put together something that's really innovative. Michelle, I'm putting you on the spot. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, we're trying to implement a pet lovers club, and that's for anyone that has a pet. And we have 4 interested people, so we're trying to get 4 more. And we're going to be as flexible as we can, probably meet at the dog park and get the people that have pets that we can learn from. Somebody has a pet rat, somebody has a pet snake, and a pet dragon. And just get people more involved in their community that's sitting at home with their pet. So
sorry I mentioned it. Cut her off. She's talking about snakes.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, I just talked to a gal today because I'm doing a zone webinar with my other 3 innovative club advocates on innovative clubs. And I spoke to a gal in Tennessee, and they have started a satellite club that has partnered with the Toastmasters club in that area. And it was a fabulous idea. So when you join, so if you're here's the Toastmaster Club. Here's the Rotary Club. If you're a member of Rotary Club, you also join this Toastmaster Club. If you're not a member of Rotary, then you join the Satellite Club and then also join the Toastmaster Club. So you'll have dual membership in Toastmaster and Rotary. And the advantage is, well, I should say their target is primarily young professionals because they see great value with being part of Toastmaster in terms of developing leadership skills, public speaking, et cetera, all those great things that Toastmaster does. But they also like the Rotary aspect of service. And so this club coming together, this idea is just fabulous idea. And she's already submitted the charter for the Toastmaster Club. You have to have 21 members to start a new Toastmaster Club. So she's got that in, and she now has the charter ready for the Satellite Club, which only requires 8 because they have a number of members who are already Rotarians. So that was thinking outside of the box. and providing a fabulous opportunity, especially for young professionals, to help them grow and develop their leadership skills and public speaking skills. So things like that. Think outside of the box. Rotary has opened that door. Yeah, Marianne.
I have another question. The dues are the same for the satellite members, just as they are for the club members?
Not necessarily.
No.
No.
Did you already go over that and I missed it?
No.
They're still paying RI district dues, except for that special promotion. But excluding that, they're paying single dues. So the satellite club, okay, the chartering club could say, if you're a member of the satellite club, instead of paying $220 a year, you're going to pay, $150.
Okay.
So it could be reduced based on that, but the chartering club is still submitting that $127.
Because the members are still, numbers are still members of the chartering.
Of the main club. That's right.
Okay.
They're still members of Rotary International, and they're still members of the district.
So does the individual chartering club come up with what they feel like the members of the satellite club could pay as dues?
No, that's why once you get the satellite club, you're creating it. The people who are joining it, you want to bring them together, have them decide what they want to pay for dues. When do they want to meet? The main club shouldn't be dictating all that.
Yeah, I really said it wrong, but you answered the question like I thought. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Nancy, for your work, not only on behalf of the district, but Rotary in the world. And thank you for all that you do, and you're a tremendous resource for all of us. And we appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome.
The question is this: how can a club president create an atmosphere that is welcoming to all? Don't be shy.
Well, I'm not going to be shy.
I know that's right.
Should be president-elects, not AGs.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hold that thought, Michelle.
Yeah.
We'll come to you later.
Well, since I'm in Michelle's club, I can probably do the same thing. I'm not super shy. So, and I think that's
Karen,
probably
tell them how we do it.
That's right.
Thank you.
Probably one of our big things is that Michelle is very welcoming. As a president, I don't know how many texts I get from her. Just, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, what's going on? If I miss a meeting, she's gonna text me, and it's not even. She doesn't ask me, why didn't you come to the meeting this morning? She just says, are you good? What's going on? She just is checking and following up on you. You just feel love. So I think that when we've been meeting on Zoom, we never did stop meetings. And even as people join the Zoom call, she's calling them out. She's just welcoming. And I think as a president, that is one thing that you have to do, is make sure that the members all feel engaged and a part of the process, especially this last year with us having to meet virtually.
Very good. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next?
I'll speak up. I think as presidents, we should follow up with the new visitors that are there. We should call them or text them and encourage them to come back and find out what their needs and wants are, and tell them about Rotary to encourage them for membership.
Very good.
I'll go, Christina from Rotary Club of Little Rock. I am definitely open to lots of ideas. The only thing I know to do right off the bat is just be out in front. I mean, my plan will just be, I'm going to bring my spouse with me, is just be out in front greeting people as they come in. And I'm going to engage a couple other members from the club to help me out with that. We already have a greeter table, which is fine, but they're behind a table. And I thought I kind of want people reaching out, if you will, as people are walking up, especially because for some of them, it will have been a while before they've been to a live meeting. I know we're talking July 1st, but I have a feeling that maybe when some people end up re-engaging is when we're in a new Rotary year. So, but I'm definitely open to ideas. As a matter of fact, I did hear someone told me to have little candy bars or something to hand out. And I thought that's a great idea. I mean, that always kind of opens the door up to conversation. Just have a little something for them to hold on to when they come in.
That's good. Feed them and they will come.
Feed them, yes. Give them cookies. Cookies and candy.
Or in your case, chocolate.
Yes.
Brian, this is Sean Johnson. I had a question. I wanted to make sure that I understand the question. I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to lawyer this a little bit. With welcoming, do you mean welcoming in the sense of diversity, or welcoming like, yeah, I think it means a lot of things, and Christina's
You're
right.
exactly right. You're exactly right, Sean. And I think that's the point that Rotary's trying to make is how are we open? How are we welcoming to everyone, not just at our meetings, but as an organization, as a club? So let's take it a step further and talk about how are we welcoming as an institution to all that might want to join us.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Charles Harris has done an amazing job with our club, Little Rock Metro. Rotary is, I think the first step is to say it. And I think that's what Rotary is doing. And that's important. If you're going to focus on diversity, which I'm always in favor of, 1,000% in favor of it, then we have to figure out, we have to say it. And I think that that's what we're doing. In Little Rock Metro, we are doing all kinds of great work, I think, with the Kappa League of Little Rock. And it's really wonderful. Charles has kindled and created that relationship with an organization that is focusing on the advancement of young men of color and helping them to achieve and see their ties into business and the business world. And we're really living that all together as a club and just completely behind it and pushing hard. I think it begins with saying it. And I think if anything, the events of the past year have shown us in the country throughout with the death of so many, George Floyd and others, that you have to say it. And we have to know that we're focused on equality and opportunity for people of all races and creeds. So that to me is where it begins. As far as being welcoming, I think it's helping people of all different backgrounds know that they are welcome indeed, and inviting them to the meetings, finding connections like the Kappa League to tie into, helping folks see that we are working very hard to help business connections, even non-business connections, charitable, religious connections through Rotary are key.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a question or need help, I guess I would say. We have quite a few members that have left Rotary over the past maybe couple years. Even this is prior to COVID, so it wasn't due to COVID. And these weren't members that left due to not being able to afford to be in Rotary. But they're good community leaders. I think it was just a combination of things that happened. And I really want to reach out to those past members, but I don't know how to go about that. Does
Somebody want to help, Marianne?
Ideas?
Call them up.
Yeah, pick up the phone. That's what I would do.
You should be able to see. You can see in DAC-DB where the past members that that are no longer with the club, like Nancy
terminated members.
Terminated members. It's kind of like the list at my office. If someone leaves my office, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So I get a list of everybody that's left our office, and I go through that. And this is obviously work, but I think it translates. And I'll go through there and I'll just call them and just talk to them and see what's going on. And as simplistic as that sounds, very effective, I've found.
Well, Helena being a small town, I mean, everybody knows everybody. So I have reached out to these men. I guess my question was, how do you encourage them to come back after maybe some things happen that they weren't just, I don't know how to get into without getting into a lot. I guess just encouragement. I have spoken to them, but it's just, I guess if I had any words of encouragement to kind of get them to be on board to come back.
So Marianne, this might be an opportunity to start a satellite club.
That's what I was thinking.
And ask them, you know, if you you left our club for X, Y, you know, if you know the reason, and I feel that you still have a heart for Rotary and what Rotary stands for, how would you feel about starting a new club or a satellite club that is a part of the original club, but separate? You can dictate what time and what service projects you want to do, and you can partner with the original club where you want. But
that's an excellent idea.
Here's a great opportunity to reach out to them and ask, how do you feel about starting a new club?
That's a wonderful idea. Thank you.
I think Adam said at one point that these are people that have already drunk the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They joined you once, and you know that they've got a heart for Rotary and understanding for Rotary, and so get them back in.
Okay.
Whatever you need to.
And I think, having said that, you know, you want to, when you're reaching out to them and you're conferring with them, you know, approach the issue of why they left in the first place. I mean, what is it that made them not want to be part of Rotary anymore, and what can you do to change that?
If that fails, you can always take Christina's outlook and just give them candy bars, and I bet that works too.
Yeah, that too.
But I would also add a personal visit, because that means a lot. When I came to Little Rock, I was a veteran Rotarian of about 15 or 16 years, and I joined all the clubs. I was considering this club and that club. I went to West Little Rock, and I got no welcome at all. And then a member joined and invited me to come back and consider it. And then I got open arms because the leadership had changed. The attitude of Rotary had changed. And I joined immediately. And it's been wonderful. But one of the other clubs, they had a personal representative come and see me, and it was delightful. And I almost joined that club. But then they folded and merged with ours. So I'm glad it happened. But a personal call really helps.
Thank you.
And that also says something about your role as the leader. You're setting the environment, the atmosphere.
Yes.
Marianne, I have two little ideas, and for what it's worth, I'll just throw it out. One would be to refer to this association group or the beginning of it as some sort of an alumni group. And the idea is that, or maybe it's an annual cookout that you have for alumni and friends of Rotary. And that might be a way to do it. And the second little item that's related to it would be to have a group of alumni who always knew one another and were Rotarians together to come together to do a service project together. Mm-hmm. And if they did, they would sort of see, okay, that's right, service, I forgot. I ought to do this.
Great idea. Thank you, Sean.
I do want
to jump in.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a hog, but I do want to go back to Sean's point, because this getting diversity in our club is a major one of our long-term goals. We went through the strategic planning process, and it's difficult just to get the interest out there. So again, creating a welcoming environment. After hearing y'all talk, I think something that might help is having members pick up, like if you know someone's coming to check out your club, having another member, well, let me swing by your office and pick you up. Having them kind of ushered into a meeting and a buddy at that meeting. I think for someone who this may be totally outside their realm, that may be a way to just to have a greater level of one-on-one interaction where you're seating by your buddy during the whole meeting. that might help. So
The Kenny Gibbs model.
Is that yes, you're right. That is the Kenny Gibbs model. Yes. I think that's, especially as we're trying to get diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I were going into a club with a bunch of people that weren't like me, that would be intimidating. So.
And that's for those who might have had Kenny speak to their club. That's how he did it when he was president, and he still continues. When he invites somebody, he offers to swing by, pick them up. He connects them with somebody else in Rotary to sit next to, and then he follows up afterwards, and that other person follows up. And so that's a great way to just connect and make them feel welcome.
Yeah, I invited a young man to our club, one of our virtual meetings. And he's a young man that works for me that moved here from California. His response to me after the meeting was, well, that was an interesting meeting. He goes, I felt kind of odd because I was one of two people of color in the meeting and everybody was a lot older than me. Now, what that's done is it's opened the door for a conversation once again for a satellite club of some type with younger people in that group, and we're actually talking about doing that right now. And so anyway, but it was interesting to hear his comment. He said, I liked the presentation. Everybody seemed friendly, but I just felt out of place.
Yeah.
And that's the part we've got to work on.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot more difficult, you know, with the virtual meetings that we've had since last March. But, you know, Christina, you know, your idea, you know, when I and Nancy will attest to this, when I was president, before the meetings that were in person, which we'll get back to, I like to go out and talk to everybody in the crowd, especially the people that were guests, you know, whether they were of color or not, and to make them feel welcome. You know, that's going to be a lot harder for you, Christina, because your club is so large. But, you know, still, that's one thing that I would encourage all of the president-elects to do when we get back to in-person meetings, you know, just go out and it makes you feel better before you get up on, you know, the stage, so to speak, to do the meeting, because you've already talked to everybody and you've made them welcome and made them feel like they were, you know, they were valued. So I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think that's been a big challenge this year too, because we're such a friendly club. We're real high energy, even though we meet at 7 a.m. But to be able to talk in person versus being on Zoom, even if they join a little bit early and we're just chit-chatting back and forth, you just don't get the same attention through a virtual media than you do in person.
But you know, one of the things. Go
sorry.
for it, Michelle. Go for it.
Well, I think that's when you have to think outside the box on how to engage your people. So, you know, each week the same person is not doing the four-way test. So the same person is not doing the prayer. You're getting more people involved. You're making it fun. We have games. We do contests. And you recognize them. You greet each one, even if it's virtual. I make sure that I greet each one by name. And like Karen said, I will text at least 10 of the members a week just to see how they're doing, because you don't know what is going on in their life. And so when you get into their lives, then they're relaxed and they want to introduce other people to Rotary. Now, my husband and I were the first people of color to join Sherwin, but I wasn't going to stop that, because I came in that we're going to make a change. We got to bring some color into this club and culture. So we have a representative from India, Hong Kong, I believe, or Vietnam. So we're bringing more diverse people in Sherwood, Arkansas. So You have to be willing to speak about Rotary and be proud of it, and don't look for somebody that looks the same as you. So,
Amen.
Well, Rotary recommends that our clubs reflect our community. So whatever your community looks like is really what your club should look like. Who else has something to offer?
Ryan, I had something kind of talking about that, or what you were just speaking on. But Rotary's image to the community is really through our service projects and through our works and our contributions. And we're after the people with a heart for service. And so when you see a fundraiser or a service project that benefits an organization that is dear to your heart, that could speak to you to be drawn towards, this organization is really helping folks in our community, and I'd like to be a part of that. And, a lot of times our speakers or the things that we donate to or we have fundraisers for are folks who come to us and say, hey, the sheriff's department really needs some new body cams, but they're really expensive. We don't have the funds for it. Can you help us raise some money for that or something like that? But, there's a lot of organizations out there that don't come and ask for things like that. And, the more that we seek out these organizations that are doing good works, we're serving our community, but we're also broadening our our footprint to potentially attract new members that those particular organizations are dear to their hearts.
Good point.
Very good. All right, who else wants to add anything? And I officially want to go on record as I'm really glad that the breakout screwed up, because this is a whole lot better. You guys, you coming in as presidents-elect, and when you take over your club July 1, look at this screen and look at these people. That's going to be your lifeline. You guys are going to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and talk about what's going on in your community versus what's going on here, and utilize the resources that you see right here. And so I'm really glad that we've got an opportunity to talk en masse. And so, yay, technology and ignorance of it.
So one thing I would add is, as an incoming president, nowhere in the Rotary bylaws or constitution does it say that you have to do the same thing as the president before you.
Amen.
Use your year as an opportunity to make a change. If you've heard members complain about something or want to do something different, be the one to make that change. Michelle has done that. And Christina's talking about standing outside and greeting Rotarians. That has not happened at Club 99. I've been there often, and I get to see that wall of tables. And so if you have an idea, implement it. Nowhere does it say you can't make that change. Now, I wouldn't suggest overhauling the entire club, but start small and start making those changes.
Kelly Rogers from North Little Rock. Let me add something. I've noticed it in Rotary, and I've been in North Little Rock Rotary for about 6 years now, that it's mostly run by committees of one, and I would encourage you to involve more in the committee process and encourage more members to get involved, because those committee of ones, when I hate to say it, when they die off, it's tough to find people to just step in.
And if you have a small club, it's not that difficult to call each of those members and say, what are you passionate about? Membership, youth services, community? Okay, if it's community service, then would you please be willing to serve on that committee? We need people like you who are passionate about this to serve and help our club to grow in that area.
Tell me your Rotary story and why you're here. And then you get to remind them of the good that you can do and what we have to offer that brought them in the first place.
But as James will say, when I joined our Rotary Club, I was one of those ones who walked up to James and say, I'm not here just for lunch, get me involved. And as you all know, that I'm a rare bird. So you are going to have to reach out to your members and ask them, how do they want to be involved? And then engage them.
Marianne, you had something?
I did. I just wanted to put this out for the president-elects. One thing that I know we don't take over until July, but one thing I've been doing, and I think it's really going to probably help, is we've had some new members join that are new to the community. And so I personally went by their businesses and spoke with them and just introduced myself as the incoming, because I want to involve them on committees. And I thought, well, if I go ahead and start this process, then I'm not going to lose time, once you become president. And so anyway, but it's easier with a small club, like in a small town like we have, but that just might help somebody else.
I think that's a great point. And I just happen to be privy that Gary Clark in Jonesboro already has all of his program chairs and all of his positions filled at this point before he gets started. So good job.
That's one of mine. That's one of mine. Way to go, Gary.
Just want to put one thing behind me before I got started on this. Before pets, I wanted to do that before pets, and I was able to accomplish it a couple of days ago. So
overachiever.
Quite satisfying.
Very cool. That's very cool.
I think he's just following James's example. Yeah. All right. Who else has something that they want to offer for the good of the group? And let me just give you a little plug. This is the kind of discussions that we could have every month at the President's Roundtable meetings on the second Monday of the month. We just get together and talk about what's going on, what's coming up, and what's on your mind. So if you want to participate in those meetings, I would encourage you. I'll be available to you until you don't want to do it anymore. And
all five of us.
Yeah, then it'll just be Jay and Adam and I sitting around going, hey, what'd you guys do today? And Michelle, I'm sorry, Michelle.
And just to double check, are those at 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock by Zoom? Is that what?
Sometimes it's 6 and sometimes it's 6:30. We'll see what works out best for everybody. Okay. We were doing them at 6:30, and then I had a conflict the last time, and it was at 6, and that messes up with Adam's dinner time. So we just try to make it work for you.
It's always less than an hour, and it's always great conversation. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be great.
Last time we talked about finishing up our spreadsheets for club recognition criteria. So we're there.
Which, by the way, in your packages, you should have received a copy of that spreadsheet.
And you can get started on it.
I would advise you just to read down through that. I would advise you to read down through that and see what's out there and what opportunities you have to start thinking about things you can do in your club to get points. And by the way, the whole design of that form is if you do the majority of things on that form, you'll have a successful year.
Yeah, it's almost like club visioning. I mean, it's a blueprint. It's goals for what you have to do. And Nancy helped me tremendously with that. With the list of the things that needed to be done for the club. You can actually take somebody in your club and assign them that duty to help you do that.
And I was just going to say, have somebody in your club be responsible for that, who will reach out to the membership chair and say, you know, has this been done? Who will reach out to the programs chair? Here's the programs we need to have. Don't take that on yourself. You have enough to do as the president. But, you know, that's a great job maybe for the president-elect nominee or even the president-elect. That gives them an opportunity to see what a good, successful year looks like. But I highly encourage you to pass that responsibility on to somebody else and have them be responsible for it.
Delegate.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Arbuckle, do you have any words of wisdom to finish us out?
Okay, so I attended a seminar recently. It was a leadership seminar, and it was really a seminar focused on how you can be more engaging to people. You know, one of the things that was said in the conversation about how to be more welcoming, you as presidents have a lot to do with that, and how you're perceived by the club as you lead that club is going to say a whole lot about how people are going to get engaged and how welcoming it is. And I wanted to point out the very first of the secret weapons of how you can be on your best day, and that is this notion of energy. You're getting pulled from so many different directions. You've got a job, you've got a family, and you've got Rotary. And so one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to interject some energy into what you do, because energy, when it's put out in front of people, is contagious, and people jump all over that. Michelle is a good example of what energy does and how contagious that is. And so I throw this up here because this will actually be recorded. And so you'll be able to come back here and look at this from time to time. But the gentleman that did the seminar for us was just fantastic on different ways that you can be a better you as you approach your day and be the best that you can be, rather than just a half person and just doing things halfway. So I wanted to just share that with you and put that out there so that you can all come back and look at it. And I'll share more with that as time goes along, and maybe even as I visit your club. So anyway, throw that out there. You can come back and look at it and think about those topics. I will tell you that I'm looking forward to Saturday. I think it's going to be a great time to be together, and I really encourage you to be there. I think you'll find it a very inspiring session. Also, in Gary Clark fashion, I have scheduled all my DG visits. I have a calendar with all my visits on them, and I'll be sending a spreadsheet out to you guys just to confirm. And I guess, Christina, you guys typically tell the district governor when he's coming, as opposed to the district governor picking when he gets to come. So I want you to look at that spreadsheet when I send it out real quick so that we can get that resolved. But I'll send a spreadsheet out to you that'll show when I tentatively plan to be at your club, and let's see if that's going to work for you, and have a conversation about that as we move forward. I'm like Gary, trying to get everything done, get it all planned out, so that I can have the time to really enjoy meeting you and being at your clubs and meeting your members and learning more about what makes you guys tick and trying to help you be successful. So that's all I have to offer for tonight. Thank you guys for being here. And I guess I'll turn it back over to Brian to close us out.
I guess unless anybody has anything else to offer, I will thank you for being here, and be careful going to the other room and shutting your computer down. All right, it's 7:30. Thank you all, and we will be in touch. Good night.
Good night, everyone. See you Saturday.
It was a good one.
Bye.